Okay, hi everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to some of you, and welcome back to our series of webinars. And today we are having the 16th International Talk on Green Business, Sustainability, and Climate Action, which is being organized jointly by the Global Ambassadors of Sustainability and the Global Green Chamber of Commerce. And now I'm inviting Ms. Michelle Thatcher for an opening remarks for this webinar. So the floor is yours, Ms. Michelle.
Thank you, Dr. Wissam, and so much gratitude going out to our esteemed speakers for today. We have speakers from Malaysia, Lebanon, and Egypt. And as always, I know the audience will be filled with those from all over the world. So we encourage you to, number one, please share with us where you're joining us from today, where you're calling in from. And then I would also encourage everyone to please type in your questions, type in your comments as each of the speakers are presenting. Each of the speakers will give their presentation, and then we will do a Q&A session at the end of that. And so really looking forward to your thoughtful questions. We always have so many, and we really look forward to sharing those with our speakers today. I want to also share this program here is such a unique program because we're bringing together academicians, businesses, NGOs, chambers of commerce. And with that part of it, we have an upcoming event in Turkey. And that will be from June 16th to the 19th. It's part of the Global Sustainable Development Congress. And on specifically June 16th, we will be presenting at that event. So if you're in Turkey and you can join, that would be wonderful. As Dr. Wissam mentioned, this is part of the Global Green Chambers of Commerce. We are expanding. We have a new national Green Chamber of Commerce starting up in Nepal. We have one, because of this particular program, one of our prior speakers is starting the Green Chamber in Australia. And I know that we have some other national ones that have reached out to us. So if you know of somebody who is in a country that might have interest or know others that have interest to bring together the green community, that would be wonderful. Feel free to reach out. And I really want to just give the shout out to the global ambassadors of sustainability. We would not be here today if it weren't for Dr. Wissam and this organization. And I know probably all of you are connected here on LinkedIn. If you're not following the Global Ambassadors of Sustainability, I suggest that you do. But I also wanted to point out, this is their website. So I highly recommend that you also go to their website. So without further ado, I want to just thank Dr. Wissam for bringing us all together here today. And I will pass it over to you, Dr. Wissam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Michelle, for these remarks, interesting remarks and kind words. And we start with our first speaker for today. And our guest speaker, the first guest speaker will be Dr. Hanisa Kamila. And Dr. Hanisa is a senior lecturer at the University of Putra, Malaysia. So the floor is yours, Dr. Hanisa.
Thank you, Dr. Wissam. Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. I'm a food biotechnologist from UPM Bintulu, Sarawak. So today's sharing is ideas of biomaterial in agro-food security and sustainability. Before we go further, let's define what is biomaterial technology. It is a material that derived from living organism, plant or natural sources. It could develop innovative solutions in various fields, including agriculture and food production. While for agro-food security and sustainability, it encompasses the practice of utilizing resources efficiently, minimizing environmental impact, also ensure long-term viability in the agro-food sector. And then why is it important? It is to ensure agro-food sustainability is vital for meeting the nutritional needs of the global population. We could reduce the waste, conserving natural resources, and mitigating the adverse effects of climate change. Okay, a biomaterial should be biocompatible, bioinert, bioactive, bioresorbable, bioadaptable, and also sterilizable. An example of biomaterials such as metals and alloys, ceramics, or biopolymer that come from starch, gelatin, polyhydroxyalkanoate, and etc. While that we also have biocomposite, which is from fibers or blended fibers. These are the example that I mean just now, that biopolymer could come from plant, that cellulose, chitosan that from crabs or prawn, and also gelatin from the animal sources, and lignin from the woods itself. Biomaterial is around 2% used in agriculture sector and is expected to increase further to higher percentage. So before we go further on regarding the ideas of biomaterial in the food security and sustainability, let's go through with the current issues of agro-food supply. So firstly is regarding the food security. The demand for food is increasing due to the population growth and changing dietary preferences, leading to concern over food security and accessibility. In 2050, it is expected that the human population will go to 9 billion. And we can see that the food insecurity in Africa continent is around 59%, Latin America and Caribbean 41%. However, in Malaysia, it's only 25%. This is due to the demand for animal-based protein increased by 59% between 1980 and 2014 and has surpassed the demand for plant-based sources of protein, which means the people are preferring animal-based protein more than the plant-based sources of protein. Other than that, increase in demand for sugar and sweeteners, where supply of these items increased by 24% between 1980 and 2014. 95% of adults do not consume adequate amounts of fruits and vegetables in their diet. This is not because of food scarcity, but it is because change of diet and preference. And then we can see here, due to the COVID-19, so all the countries start to be aware of food security, which in Vietnam is targeting to cut annual rice export by 44% to 4 million tons by 2030. And same goes to India, which they are controlling the production of onion to the world. Next, the resource scarcity. Just now was food security, now is regarding this resource scarcity, limited availability of arable land, water scarcity, and the need to reduce chemical input pose significant challenges to sustainable agro-food production. It is also suspected that in 2050, the area of soil will be reducing due to the pollution that caused by the plastics. Soil erosion and increased carbon dioxide level lead to changes in the nutrient content in food, thereby affecting the quality of food produced. Extreme weather events are expected to reduce rice yield by up to 31% within the next decade. In Malaysia itself, we have challenged to maintain rice self-sufficiency level above the minimum national requirement for self-sufficiency of 65%. And in Malaysia also, the palm oil yield reducing due to the extreme weather. So these are examples of food scarcity, which the war also contribute to the food scarcity, which Ukraine is one of the main producer of wheat flour, and due to the war, the wheat flour production is reducing. And here we can see the Gaza flour mills ground down due to the conflict. Okay, in Malaysia itself, this is today's news. Even our traditional food, nasi lemak, this is favorite by all Malaysians. The price has hiked up because of the living cost and also food supply. And even FNN plan to focus in dairy farm due to limited supply of milk in Malaysia. Next, current issue of agri-food supply is regarding the environmental impact. Conventional farming practices have negative environmental impact such as soil degradation, water pollution, and greenhouse gas emission because we are using a lot of synthetic chemicals and also areas and plastics as well. The increasing severity of climate change is due to high surface temperature, rising sea levels, extreme weather events, disrupt food system, and increase food spoilage leading to decreased food supply. The production of animals and animal product for human consumption is responsible for up to 1/3 of global greenhouse gas emission, especially for the cow business. And then after that, in Malaysia, major flooding in 2014 Kedah and 2021 in Selangor. The 2014 flood resulted in 300 million worth of losses due to damage to crops, natural resources, and infrastructure. And interestingly, or surprisingly, in 2025, flooding in Bintulu, Malaysia is the worst faced by the people. And I'm in Bintulu, Sarawak, and this happened last January 2025. Surprisingly, the area that never been flooding faced the flood nowadays. You can see from the photo here. This is the news regarding the palm oil yield that reducing due to the global warming. Okay, so it is clear regarding the issue of the agro-food supply. Then, what is the ideas of biomaterial technology in mitigating this? Okay, firstly, it can go to the soil, air, and water management. The biomaterials could improve the soil fertility, prevent erosion, conserve water through innovative irrigation systems, promote sustainable soil and water management practices. So don't worry, I will explain further after this. And then the second one, we could crop enhancement and protection. So health can be enhanced through biostimulants and biocontrol agents, eco-friendly pest management strategies, also reducing the reliance on chemical inputs. And the third one, this is the most common one when we mention regarding biomaterial or also known as biopolymer, it is for food packaging and preservation. It could offer biodegradable alternative to conventional packaging materials, reducing plastic waste, extending the shelf life of perishable food through innovative preservation method. And lastly, agro-food innovation from biomaterial. Biomaterial technology enables development of novel food products with improved nutritional value, taste, and texture, promoting sustainable and healthier food choices. Due to the limitation of and the price hike of the food nowadays, so we need to innovate new food, or we call this as alternative food. Okay, so this is about what I mentioned just now, how the soil and water management could be mitigated by the application of biomaterial. As we can see here, we have sawdust, shaving powder, and ash being mixed together and improve the properties of the soil. Other than that, also with the coating of the biopolymer to the soil, it could reduce the soil erosion. Soil erosion is crucial during the raining season, so the holding of the soil will be better and reduce the erosion. And then this one, you can see the biomaterial being used for filtration, and it could be applied for the water filtration. And interestingly, it could filter the salt water into drinkable water. And in the photo here, the next one is that it could filter as the air filter and prevent the transfer of viruses and bacteria. Okay, this was our recent visit to Singapore and also National University of Singapore. So this is my sharing with you guys that I got. The authority are using coconut husk material here, as you can see the brown one. And the purpose is to prevent the soil erosion, and also they could plant the plant more systematic. And this is in National University Singapore, the middle photo here. So they apply the same material, and by that it reduces the growth of the grass. And during raining season, the water will be transferred to the surface of this brown area, and then after that will be collected in this pool. So as time passes by, the pool will be will be dry because the water already been absorbed by the surrounding plant. And another thing is that they also plant herbs in their area. As you can see here, in Malay we call it daun kadok, and in scientific name Piper samantosum, and it's also eaten by the Thailandese for the miang kham. Okay, so it is so interesting to plant herbs in the small area, but it's very functional. Okay, this is another application or another ideas of biomaterial. We could do seed coating. So by doing the seed coating, it could provide sufficient nutrients for the seed and grow better. So you can see the one that is coated is growing better than the one that is not coated. Okay, so this is another application by nanoparticle technology, chitosan, which has natural antimicrobial properties and also could enhance the growth of the plant. And this is the seed coating that we discussed just now. And other than that, the application of biomaterial with the active compound could enhance the growth of the plant. So here is the application of the needle-like biomaterial and how the mechanism that is transferring the bioactive compound to the leaf. Biopolymeric nanoparticles help to deliver precise amount of pesticide locally, and also the biopolymeric nanoparticles loaded with fertilizer to improve nutrient utilization efficiency. So by applying the biomaterials in the coated way, the transfer or distribution could be more efficient and more precise. By that, we could reduce the cost of the fertilizer or pesticide application. And other than that, biomaterial also could be made as the hydrogel, and it is very important during the drought season, which the water that been transferred into the hydrogel could be applied by the plant during the drought season. And these are the mechanism how the active compound is transferred into the surrounding. And this, the application in food packaging and preservation. So it could be applied to the meat, fish, fruit, vegetables, and others. And the source could be from the natural source, such as starch, chitosan from the prawn or crab, agar from the seaweed, or also could be from protein. By incorporated together with the active compounds, such as essential oil, plant extract, or antioxidant, we could apply it to extend the shelf life of food and also enhance the properties of the food itself. So these are few of the applications. So we can see here the pectin which come from the fruit is a biomaterial and combined together with the chitosan from the prawn or the crabs and alginate from the seaweed. And also some of the active compound, it could preserve the shelf life of meat. And this beautiful shining chocolate here is coated with the shellac, which is type of biomaterial. Okay. And then this is the method of coating we could do by brushing it, spraying it, or dipping inside the solution. And this is an active packaging. Other than we could preserve the shelf life of the food, and also by the presence of active compound, it could change with the different pH. It could change color with the different pH. Other than that, if there is a QR code on the packaging itself, we can get the information by scanning the QR code. And this is another ideas which we could make it as agrofood innovation from biomaterial. So starch itself, when it is modified, it could be resistant starch, or we know it as a prebiotic. And the prebiotic could enhance the growth of good bacteria, which is known as probiotic in our large intestine. These ideas also is applicable to transfer or deliver drugs to our body, which the drugs need to be delivered to the large intestine, and it will be degraded in the large intestine and transferred to the human consumption. And then this is the imitate meat, which is very popular nowadays. Protein is also a biomaterial or biopolymer. So we are making it into imitate meat as alternative food to overcome the traditional food that we have. And this was a production of biomaterial during my postgraduate study. So it is a circular economy which we are using waste cooking oil and feed it to a bacteria. And then the bacteria with the condition of high carbon, low nitrogen will producing PHA, polyhydroxyalkanoate. And then this is nanotechnology that is done by my colleague. It is we providing a film with a nanofiber and also incorporated together with antioxidant. So the film is applied to extend the shelf life of bread. And this is another study by my student. With our formulation, we are able to extend the shelf life of tomato to extra few days. And this paper already published. This is extending the shelf life of banana with the incorporation of essential oil. And this is another study. We are making antimicrobial film, which able to inhibit Escherichia coli. E. coli. Okay, other sustainability and food security efforts that we found is that this was in Singapore from our observation. Singapore has their own seed bank. And just to share is that we have around 8 seed bank in around the world. And one of the nearest is in Singapore, Australia. And also there is some in India, yeah. So, and they are also doing research on enhancing the nutrient compound inside the vegetables and also herbs and other edible plants. As you can see on the top of the roof, they have this solar panel, and it's a green technology to provide, and they didn't pay the bill. It's all relying on this solar panel. And the small area being used to plant vegetables and herbs, as you can see. Okay, what is the benefits of biomaterial technology is that for the environmental sustainability, it could promote eco-friendly agriculture practice, reduce chemical usage, and etc. And then for economic advantages, it could offer cost-effective solution by the selection of the biomaterial, enhancing resources efficiency, reduce post-harvest losses, also improving profitability, and we also could contribute to food security. However, the challenges depend on the technological constraints, whether we have the technology to produce the application or ideas that we want, and also the regulatory issues, which could be different from different countries, and also adoption and implementation challenge, which to enhance the awareness or education from the farmers or people surrounding. So the future prospect and opportunities, it could be the technological advancement. As we know, there's nowadays fermentation technology, 3D printing, and etc. for the production of biomaterial. Urban and vertical farming, which contribute and enhance the production of food and vegetables, and etc. Also, it could enhance the collaborative research between universities and in research institute. So as conclusion, biomaterial technology offer immense potential to revolutionize the agro-food sector. Also, continued research, innovation, and collaboration are key to harnessing its benefit for a sustainable future. So these are a few of our publications. And these are my students and the collaboration and network that we have. The references, and with that, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Camila. I think Dr. Wassam might be having connectivity issues, so I'll jump in here. I think our next speaker is Dr. Ibrahim Ramadan. And I don't know if you are, oh, there you are. And I will go ahead and add your presentation to the stage.
My voice is clear now? Okay. Dr. Gamila make the expectation of the listener in the sky. So I will try to add something. So that's a great presentation, Dr. Camila. Hello, good morning, good day, everyone. I'm Ibrahim Ramadan from Egypt, and I'm a senior project management and PhD researcher in the technology, blockchain, and AI. Today, I need I'm excited to share with you how technology and innovation are shaping the green businesses practices and the climate change, especially through the smart cities and blockchain application. So let's dive in to the presentation. Climate change, it is no longer future threats. It's happening now. Uh, Businesses are under pressure to act not only to comply with the regulation, but also to meet the expectation of a consumer and the investor as well. Technology gives us a unique opportunity to rethink an business's model and drive real environment impact. So the technology, it's one of our arm to speed up the climate change action and sustainability goals. Digital tools are transforming how we operate. Uh, Remote services, IoT devices, AI-driven energy system, and blockchain technology all contribute to lower emission and increase the efficiency. Innovation isn't just helping businesses grow; it is become a critical to survive in a sustainability future. Um, the smart cities as a model, offering a powerful blueprint. They use data and technology to optimize the energy, reduce waste, and improve the quality of life. From my experience with Egypt in new administrative capital, we see how the smart we see how the smart infrastructure can direct support national sustainability goals and the green economy. This is the new administration capital in Egypt. The blockchain for climate change and the green businesses introduce the transparency and trust, two of essentially for the environment governance. It enables real-time carbon credit trade, makes supply chain traceability, and ensure the integrity of environmental data, helping businesses and the governmental prove their sustainability claims. So the blockchain made an important role in how can made a climate change helping. The digital transformation have a lot of benefits like enhancing customer experience, increase the efficiency and the productivity, improve decision making, new revenue streams. So nowadays the digital transformation made a lot of rules in our life now. So the challenges and the consideration, of course, there are hurdles: infrastructure readiness, cyber security, data privacy, and the need for update the policy. This is all are challenges, but these challenges are surmounted if public and the private sector collaborate. We can be covered or can be handled if some of collaboration between the public and the private sector. The key is aligning innovation with the governance and the citizen needs. So, measuring and optimize the digital innovation, it's for me, it's a three pillar: data collection and analysis, continuous improvement, and automation and optimization for the businesses. So, innovate for impact. Um, uh, a lot of innovation ideas can be handled. So we can see that the technology play a strategic role in advancing sustainability from the smart city to blockchain. Also, foster cross-sector collaboration like businesses, governmental, tech. Also, building a sustainable future through the innovation and the action. Now, conclusion is, as I mentioned before, that the technology as a strategical enabler. Tech is not just a tool; it is a driver of green transformation. A smart city show how innovation can power sustainable urban life, and blockchain as a tool or as a technology can restore trust and accountability in the climate action. And the last one is a collaboration across the sector is essentially for scaling the solutions. So my quote is innovation is the engine of sustainable future, and innovate boldly, acting urgently. And by the way, I'm publish a lot of papers in the blockchain and how can deal with the the sustainable action. And this is the URL of ResearchGate, and this is my detailed account. Thank you, Dr. Wissam. Thank you, Dr. Nikhil, for the invitation, and I hope that it's a good idea. So go quickly for a lot of points. So each point I'm explaining the presentation need separate session to discuss in detail. So thank you again, and I'm ready for any question from the listener.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ibrahim, for your interesting sharings and this interesting topic. Um, so now we move to the next speaker, and the next speaker will be Ms. Razan Asi. Ms. Razan is a researcher of climate change writers from Lebanon. So the floor is yours, Ms. Razan.
Thank you, Dr. Wissam. Good evening for all. Thank you, Dr. Camila, Dr. Ibrahim, for this amazing presentation. My subject is about legal innovation for a greener Middle East, especially how law and policy are driving environmental transformation. I will talk through foundation of legal innovation in the Middle East and driving sustainability through legal reform. First of all, Middle East is as crossroads. On one hand, it's one of the world's richest oil and gas, and on the other hand, it's one of the regions most vulnerable to the effect of climate change. So this is where we need law. Law becomes a powerful tool, not just for regulating behavior, but for driving transformation. We don't need law and rules, we need legal innovation through rethinking how laws are made, implemented, and enforced. It means adapting legal system to support environmental goals while remaining rooted in local values, religious principles, and social realities. So in this presentation, I will explore how legal frameworks in the Middle East are evolving to meet green challenges and what foundational innovations are making that shift possible. To begin, the idea of environmental law in the Middle East does not sound modern. It had deep roots in environmental ethics, such as Islamic law. Principles such as Khalifa, Amana, and Mizan emphasize the human responsibility to care for the earth. Customary tribal law that are often included rules about resource sharing, grazing rights, and seasonal use of land and water. So legal innovation didn't start from scratch. It had built on these long-standing values and adapt them to modern environmental challenges. In 19th and 20th century, many Middle Eastern countries had underwent legal modernization, influenced by colonial and European legal system. So civil codes, private law, commercial law, and administrative structure we did focus on this law, but environmental issues were often sidelined. So however, this system laid the groundwork for formal legal institution. And today, these institutions are key actors in implementing green policies. How? From drafting environmental laws to enforcing energy regulations. So the challenge is how to integrate environmental priorities into this established system without losing cultural and legal authenticity. With some regional awareness, we can start with countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Jordan, and Morocco have all launched national visions and sustainability strategies, such as Saudi's Vision 2030 and UAE's Net Zero by 2050. These plans are not just economic, they are legal roadmaps outlining a new environmental regulation, green investment law, and sustainable development goals. So also with COP28 in Dubai have pushed government to commit to green targets, often requiring legal change. In this section, I will move to the next part. Well, I will start to see how countries in the Middle East are actively reforming the legal system to promote environmental sustainability and climate resilience. Some countries are now codifying environmental standards into national laws, such as UAE's Federal Environmental Law, Jordan's Environmental Protection Law, Saudi Arabia's environmental regulation under Vision 2030. So these laws ensure that environmental goals are not just aspirations, they are legally enforceable obligations. Between legal innovation with legal tools for renewable energy and climate action, feed-in tariff and renewable energy law in Egypt, Morocco, and Jordan have attracted major solar and wind investment. UAE's clean energy strategy is on contract zoning laws and green finance regulation to support solar mega projects like Noor and Masdar City. Also, carbon markets and green bond are emerging with legal structures, especially in Bahrain and UAE. So these tools show how law can unlock investment, reduce emissions, and shape sustainable energy landscape. Also, we can go through some countries have recognized the right of communities to participate in environmental decision-making, such as Lebanon and Tunisia, have expanded the public's right to access environmental information and challenge polluting projects in court. NGOs are also using legal advocacy to hold industries and government accountable, especially in cases of water pollution and illegal land use. So this marks a shift toward environmental democracy, where people are not just government, but legal stakeholders in sustainability. So what's next? We can go through stronger climate adaptation laws, digital legal platform for transparency and monitoring compliance, regional cooperation, integrating traditional ecological knowledge with formal environmental law, and training legal professionals in environmental justice and sustainability. The relation between legal innovation and technology, we can talk about digital environmental monitoring systems that are being embedded into regulatory frameworks. Dubai and Riyadh e-courts and AI-powered compliance tools are helping speed up environmental litigation and enforcement. Smart legal governance is helping governments act faster, enforce better, and adapt to a changing climate with real-time data. So by the end, legal innovation is not just a tool for modernization, it's a vital pathway toward environmental sustainability in the Middle East. So by reimagining policies, strengthening environmental regulation, and integrating technology with tradition, the region can lead transformative change. A green future is possible, one built on the foundation of legal progress, regional collaboration, and a deep commitment to ecological justice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Razan, for this presentation. And again, we had three interesting sharings from biomaterials to technology and innovation, and also legal innovation. So I think we open the floor for Q&A, and I am inviting Ms. Michelle for moderating the Q&A session.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bassam, and thank you so much for our speakers today. So insightful. I've learned so much through this process, and such high level of what the studies you've been doing as far as studies, and really diving into that. And I know we have some really critical questions that have been coming in. And I'll go ahead and start. This question is for Dr. Camila. And Rasan had asked this question, which I just love. It's, what is integrated pest management and why is it important?
Okay, integrated pest management is a sustainable approach to pest control because actually usage of pesticides, synthetic chemicals, and etc. is one of the main materials in agriculture, and it is one of the main producers of pollutions as well. So by applying integrated pest management, we will reduce the usage of synthetic pests and fertilizer. So and other than that, it is also a combination of the biological, cultural, and physical control. I give you an example here. So we have herb plants, for instance, a herb plants that has a functional compound that could, for instance, antimicrobial properties or is not preferred by some kind of pest. The easiest example, beetle leaf, right? So, and then after that, planted together nearby the farming, nearby the plants. I mean the industrial or crop plants. So by that way, the population of the pests will be reduced. And then other than that, the pest also could be used as the animal feed. Okay, for instance, the pest could be snails. So we can take the snails, crush it. Okay, so it contain of high protein and also high calcium. It could be fed to animal as animal feed. So animal feed may be duck or chicken, that calcium is contributing in formation of eggs. Okay, and then after that, the animal dung will be the fertilizer to the agriculture crops and also to the herbs itself. So this is integrated farming. So that's why then it will reduce the synthetic application and reduce the pollution. So it's important. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Camila. I know that we have such a diverse audience here, and even within our speakers, and we all come from very different backgrounds. And so sometimes when we're talking at very high levels and nanotechnology with agriculture, sometimes just the basics. I know I worked in the agricultural industry with soil and water conservation districts in the United States for so many years. And just learning the basics of best practices, even with the farmers and ranchers, just getting them started is so key. So, thank you so much for that information. Our next question is for Dr. Ramadan, and I love the quote: "Technology is not just a tool, but a driver." So thank you it makes me look at technology in a way. There's some days I'm, kind of on the fence as far as AI and everything that's going on. So I like that I don't just look at it as that tool, because that tool sometimes can be a little bit scary, but it is that driver that's coming in. And our question is from Indira Bunek from Switzerland. How can technology be democratized so that green innovations are accessible to small businesses and developing economies, not just for major corporations and wealthy nations? Yeah, wow, great question. I don't know if we're hearing.
We can't hear you.
No. No. Try that.
We still can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, maybe Dr. Ramadan, maybe go out and come back in again, and then we'll queue up that question, and then we'll go to Rasan. We'll ask the next question here, and again, this is from Indira. Where there's a comment here, legal frameworks are often seen as both a catalyst and a constraint for green business innovation. In your view, how can laws and regulations best balance the need to enforce sustainability standards while still encouraging creativity and growth in the private sector? And can you share a few examples where legal frameworks have either spurred or hindered meaningful climate action?
I can say through three major points, such as enforcing new laws, such as biodiversity law, promoting sustainable practices, and some regional cooperation. Some important legal frameworks we can go through UAE's and Saudi Arabia's, and their vision for 2030 and 2050, like I said before. And
Thank you so much. And I
Thank
don't know if we, oh, Dr. Ramadan, can you turn yourself off mute? Oh, no, we still can't. I don't know if anybody has suggestions. Go ahead and maybe put them in the private chat. It might be connectivity issues. But I think we'll go to Camila for the next question while we get Dr. Ramadan set back up again. This is a comment and question from Nadia Fauzi. And the comment is, I can confidently say we are all aware of the risks facing the global environment. What needs to be discussed is the challenges facing scientific society to collaborate to address the issues due to political differences locally, regionally, and globally. What are the challenges facing the scientific community in collaborating to address issues caused by political differences at the local, regional, and global levels? Great question.
Yes, thank you for the question, and it's interesting. From my point of view, nowadays our world is globalized. Yes, the hindrance and challenges are there, but actually, we should try to work out until the extent that is possible for us. Okay, so maybe in terms of the research collaboration, it could be from the right up publication together, or maybe from discussion online. Even though it is a restriction in term, maybe some people cannot enter other country and etc. But from the online, we can make a discussion, right? So nowadays, I can say that the world nowadays has no borders. It's just all in your mind, but there's always solution in different angle. So there's a lot of platform that we can build and create to enhance the collaboration, regardless the political view and others. Because science is not about a race, it's not about gender, it's about science and knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Camila. The world has no borders. I could not agree more with that. And I used to always say, pollution has no borders. Like we can put up the pollution in one country and it goes right over to the other. So that is a just much more in-depth concept of that. So really appreciate it. And I don't know, Dr. Ramadan, if we have you back, maybe just turn your audio on. Can we hear you? No. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dr. Ramadan. I don't know what's going on.
I do have I put the question that you asked Michelle in the private chat. And so if we want to take a couple of minutes to answer the question in the chat, and then we can give the answer after, if that.
Maybe so Dr. Ibrahim, you can try maybe restart your computer. So that can be
that too.
Yes.
That was a really good question, and so we want to know.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Let's jump over to Rasan again. And this question comes from our team. With increasing focus on climate change and sustainability, how are governments in the Middle East integrating environmental regulations into their legal systems while balancing economic growth?
Maybe I can say to emphasize the role of legal institutions like parliament. So emphasizing the role of NGOs and the right to be a part of the environmental problem and solution from the people. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And, oh, go ahead. Do we have Dr. Ramadan? Can you hear us? Oh, we'll jump back to you, Dr. Camila. And we have a question. So I was thinking this as you were speaking, because it's so complex, all of the studies that have been done. So how and what are the best ways to turn those critical studies into products, into companies, into solutions that are getting implemented regionally and globally? Because I know that we, with the Global Sustainability Expedition, we travel around the world. We visited so many different universities, and I'm in awe at the studies that are being done. But so many of those studies they get the studies done, they go sit on a shelf, and nobody's picking them up, and they're not getting implemented out there. So what are your suggestions?
Okay, actually, right, there's a lot of biomaterial or biopolymer has been commercialized widely. So one example, we have Go PHA company, I think is from US, Go PHA. So PHA is a polyhydroxyalkanoate, which is a type of biomaterial from microbes, the one that I showed you just now that I'm doing. So it's already been established, and they are selling degradable utensils, yeah, and then for medical purpose as well, and etc. And then last few years we have from polylactic acid from China, and Brazil also is producing. So there are some obstacles of these biomaterials. Some could be commercialized widely, such as, like I mentioned just now, polyhydroxyalkanoate or PLA, a type of biopolymer, because they have the most similar properties with the synthetic plastic and could be degraded in a longer period, like maybe 3 months or 6 months, without the presence of water, air, and also sunlight. So without these three, they can sustain longer. But when exposed with all these three factors, it could be degraded faster. However, certain biopolymer like starch, gelatin, and etc., it is more possible as food. It is more possible as food instead of as the packaging materials. So there are biomaterials that have already been commercialized. Other than that, when industry and academicians should work together. Why? Because if the industry and academician not working together, the academician will be focusing on publication. So when they are doing research, they will be publishing. So the issue with the publication is that once you publish, you cannot make it patent or copyright. Okay, and the academician target or objective is on KPI and etc. Okay, so if the industry and academician or researchers work together, so you have to produce my product first, we commercialize it first, patent it, then you don't have to publish. So there will be another objective. So that's why we have to overcome this issue, because there is a gap between researchers, academician, and industry, which I didn't see is maybe not happening in US, but it happens in Southeast Asia especially. Yeah, in our area here. Yeah. So that is some of the challenge and possibilities.
Thank you so much for answering that, because it's always a struggle for me as I'm traveling around, and I do like the idea of like starting with the two coming together in the beginning. The next question is for both, for all of our speakers, if we end up with Dr. Ramadan back in, but we'll start with you, Rasan, answering if you like, and then we'll go to you, Dr. Camila. This is from Indira. What does a perfect balance between economic growth, sustainability, and the environment preservation look like to you? Oh, I think you might be on mute, Rasan.
I can say from legal perspective, through new environmental regulations, through subside law, and intellectual property, also green market regulations. Really in general, but really 3 important points.
Yeah, very, very important for sure. Thank you. And Dr. Camila?
For me, it is about the people. It is about the people. Even though we have the ideas of sustainability or economic growth and etc., but if the element of the people is not applying it, it's not work out. Because my recent visit to Singapore really opening my eyes. And for me, the Singapore really apply the sustainability and green, and they are applying it in every angle. So in terms of the economic growth, they don't have their own food supply. For instance, we take salt. So the health section asking the sellers to reduce the salt consumption inside their cooking. So by doing that way, they will order the salt supply lesser amount, and this will save money, and it will be good for the health of the people. So when it's good for the health of the people, there will be less health issue from the population. So by that, the people can work longer, and there will be not much issue from the people. So for me, the element is the people itself. So to have economic growth, sustainability, environmental preservation is about the people. People awareness, people development. And this is really a question mark to me, where we should begin. Is it from the kindergarten section, or is it possible for us an adult? So yeah, I'm still thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Camila. And I think we'll do one final question here. I know that for those of you who are in the audience, we have the QR code for the certificate from Dr. Wissam up on the screen. That's what you're seeing right there. So feel free to capture the QR code. And one final question, this is for both of you too. If you had to suggest one key policy change that could globally accelerate climate change, what would that be? Oh, brilliant question.
For me, I guess through legally binding targets. And also we can go like European Union Green Deal in the Middle East area, I can say.
What was the second part of that, Rasan?
Go with European Union Green Deal.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I want to make sure we capture that. And on the targets, I think what you're saying is that it's legally required, because right now all of them are attached to if we have funding, correct? Is that the main challenge that you see?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, thank you. And Dr. Camila.
From my point of view, we could enhance policy change in agriculture sector, because agriculture sector is contributing food to the people, and 70% of agriculture sector is using synthetic pesticide, fertilizer chemical fertilizer, and also plastic, which is not degradable. So most of the pollution comes from agriculture sector. So if we can make this, if we could alter the policy, could change the policy, so as requesting them to use sustainable and green materials, green method integrated farming and etc., that will be better. So that's my point of view. Thank you.
And just to continue that, do you know of any one country or policy that's out there that's specific to that you think is very well written and that they're implementing it on a high level?
For now, I didn't come across much in advanced country, urban country. Maybe Singapore could be possible because I just have a few days visit there. Yet I see to the not really not really, how we call this, developed country. I see that in Indonesia maybe, because all these like they are just using the natural animal dungs for their fertilizer and etc. So the one that is surrounding them, because they also not some of them not really affordable to buy chemical fertilizers and etc., which come mostly from Russia, and nowadays they are facing war and they have their own restriction that to certain country only they can provide fertilizers. Yeah, that's from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Camila. And I lied. I just saw a question come in. I was taking from a different list, and I think this is a great one to end on because we have such a broad audience that also works with the youth. So for both of you, Rasan and Dr. Camila, how can we inspire the next generation of leaders to make sustainability their top priority?
I can say through our sorry, go ahead, Dr. Camila, please.
No, please go ahead, Ms. Rezan. Yeah, you first.
I can say through our principles, through our inspiring the youth, through articles, through our writing idea about what is happening nowadays in the world.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's one of the good ideas also by the reading and all. It's just that hold on, yeah. Okay, it's just that we as a human, we will start applying it when there is a problem. When we come to the problem, then only we want to find a solution. So the situation is that some of the area or places we are still in conducive condition. So we didn't see the challenge yet. However, maybe we can start from the school system. Maybe we could start from the education system, I mean. So from the youngsters, and I did come across some of the kindergarten in other countries. They encourage kids to start planting vegetables and food. Yeah, so I think that's a good effort, and we should apply that. Start from our kids level, and then make it a lifestyle of the people, and then in hope we can produce a future generation leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Camila. And I know that from our perspective, any person that ever comes into our team, one of the first questions we ask is, where did your commitment and passion for the environment start? And it always, 9 times out of 10, it always starts at a very, very young age. So I think educating the young and influencing and getting them to do activities to where they're reconnecting with nature is such a brilliant idea. Well, I know that we're still having questions come in, but I know that we're running out of time here. And I want to say thank you all for joining us today on a Wednesday. This is a different day than normal, and so it probably caught many of our normal viewers by surprise. So it's really just such an honor to have all of our attendees joining us. And I'll just say, and this is just a very brief snapshot, we have people from Syria, UAE, Bangalore, India, Ukraine, Brunei, Dar es Salaam, Indonesia, Switzerland, Bangalore, India, Romania, Algeria, several from Pakistan, Nepal, Riyadh, KSA, Ghana, West Africa, Frankfurt, Germany, and so many more. Those are just the few that actually typed in their location, and we're always encouraging everybody. And I just want to say, everyone here is part of our global sustainability family. So we welcome you. We welcome you to reach out to us on LinkedIn and other methods, and we grow this network together. I know these programs now are increasing in size and viewership, and by the within 1 week we have between 1,000 to 1,500 views. So please do share the recordings with others, and also invite them to come to the live events, because I feel like that's where we really develop those deeper relationships. And so again, thank you so much for our amazing speakers. And I'm going to pass it back to Dr. Wissam, because again, he is the one bringing us all together with the Global Ambassadors of Sustainability today.
Thank you so much, Ms. Michelle, for moderating the session and for concluding it. Maybe I just have a small comment on the discussion, the latest one, which is on inspiring generations and the awareness, since it's part of my other assignment. So I think to develop awareness campaigns and inspiring generations, the first thing, it has to be sustainable, because we can't focus on the environmental issues one day a year during the Environment Day or whatever. It has to be sustainable. And maybe just here I have to acknowledge the efforts of the environmental awareness here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where they focus a lot, and they have a special initiative, which is all the year they are conducting programs for awareness, whether it's at the education sector, at the various levels, at the university level, for NGOs, capacity building programs, for the industrial sector to develop their capacities on the regulations, on also the compliance for the environmental policies and regulations. And recently, they concluded the Environment Week. It's for 1 week. A lot of institutes, like public, private, NGOs, they participated in the week, in the exhibition, in the sessions. Thousands of people joined those sessions and visited the exhibition. So to me, it's one of the unique experiences globally, because I was not exposed previously to an initiative that focused solely on the environmental awareness along the year, with a lot of projects, a lot of initiatives. So this is type of programs that might create a positive impact. And I agree with Dr. Camila, and this is what's being done. I think for education, we have to start with a very early age of students, even from kindergarten. And it has to be not only theoretical part, we have to show some cases, some initiatives, like the gardens at the school, some recycling programs, and also like recycling of waste, and even utilizing and reusing of wastewater, the gray water for the gardens. So that will show the students kind of a real scenario on how these initiatives can be practical. And a lot of programs can be done with the universities while embedding the concepts and understanding of sustainability in the curriculum, in the programs, whatever it is. We are talking about business, engineering, science, or even social science, because that will educate the students and also will help them to create new opportunities in the market, where now the sustainability jobs, it's on high demand in many countries. So that will be, again, a practical proof for people that it's working. It's not a theoretical concepts that only to be promoted during talks. It's practical even for private sector. And I was in one of the sessions for the private sector, and they showcases in their projects how it is profitable to implement sustainability at even a mega projects. And I think this is the way to educate people and also to inspire future generation. And to conclude this session, thank you so much again for the speakers for their interesting sharings again, and for the audience who joined us and also participated in the questions. And we will be meeting again in 2 weeks' time in a series, and the next series, and another line of guest speakers again from academia, NGOs, and industries. And we will keep this discussion going on, and will be keeping the establishing of international networking and partnerships, which again will assist people to make things happen. And thank you so much again, and have a good time, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.